How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to properly set up an aquatic turtle tank. Now the setup that I'm going to be building will go just about with any of your easily accessible pet turtles. That'll be basically any slider, like yellow belly slider, red ear slider, any kind of painted turtle, any kind of map turtle, a lot of your side neck species. So if you have any of those, this tank setup will be adequate for them. I'm going to be using this video just to teach you guys what it takes to build a tank that'll be adequate for your pet turtle. Now you don't have to replicate it exactly. Use this as a general outline for your tank setup. Some of you may not have the supplies that I do. Some of you may have bigger or smaller tanks. Just use this as basically a brainstorming session to get your guys' ideas flowing on what you can do with your turtle tanks. Alright guys, so we're going to jump right into this video. No fooling around. We're going to go ahead and get started with the substrate of the turtle tank. Now, some substrates you want to avoid would be anything really small that could be a choking hazard. Any pebble or rock that a turtle could ingest while eating, or maybe they mistake it as food, is a no-go when it comes to turtle keeping. They can get impacted, which means all that will settle in their stomach and they won't be able to pass it, and it can cause a whole slew of health problems, and you don't want to deal with that. A substrate that I kind of like to go to, I don't use it when I don't need it, but for this tank I had a whole bunch of extra of it, so I'm going to go ahead and use just some basic play sand. There's already some water in there. Rinsed and washed thoroughly before putting it in this tank. Now, sand is okay for turtles most of the time because it is something they will pass if they do ingest it at all. A lot of turtles have the natural instinct to not eat sand, while with a lot of these colorful fish aquarium gravel, they will see as food. So some other substrates you might want to use are big polished river rocks. Polished river stones are great. Slate, some people may not even use any kind of substrate, which that's okay depending on the turtle that you have, but today we're using sand. We're going to go ahead and put this bucket in here, if it'll fit, which doesn't look like it will, but we're going to get this sand in here anyway. Alright, sand is in. Now we can start putting in the decorations. Depending on what kind of filter you have, you may want to put that in first, whether it's an internal filter or an external filter like a canister filter. Personally, I like the canister filters. It frees up a lot of space inside the tank for the turtle to swim in, and in my personal experience, they're a lot harder to break. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling this tank up with decorations. So now that I have all my decorations placed, I'm going to be installing the filter that I will be using in this here setup. It's a Cascade 1000 canister filter. Highly recommend them. So I'm going to be setting that up in the corner here. And once that's done, we'll fill it up, get the basking place all set up, and put the turtles in. We'll go from there. The filter is all hooked up. Now we can bring the hose in and fill this tank up. Almost done. Alright guys, brand new day. Just picked up this awesome basking dock. I've used these quite a bit before. I actually use a bigger one in the stock tank right in front of me. So we're going to go ahead and install this, and then we're going to put the lights on. And since this water has been sitting for over 24 hours, should be a good temperature to put the turtles in. So once this is installed, the lights are on, you can go ahead and put the turtles in. Okay, so I'm going to roll up the sleeves here a little bit. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put this, but I think I want to put it right here. Don't want to put it too much in a corner, kind of in the middle. cut. Section cut. Alright. And that is installed. Nice. That looks pretty good. Have a little lip here to prevent them from climbing out. And worst case scenario, I can always put something behind there so they can't really escape. I don't think they'll escape, but worst case. And then now we have the lights. Here we have UVB right here, you can see. And here we have our heat. UVB is crucial for all kinds of turtles. So we're going to go ahead and install these. Get close. I'm going to dry my hand off first. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and install this. You always want to try to make sure it's facing down as much as possible. You don't really want it to be too much at an angle. You kind of want it to be facing down because if it gets in their eyes, it can potentially hurt their eyes. Here we go. So that's pretty close to being straight down. This is the UVB. Alright, here we have the heat. Then move over to the side. Here we have it. Tank is all set up and ready to go. Got the heat, got the UVB, got our substrate, decorations, basking area, and of course our filter. The filter, the lights, and the basket dock are the three crucial parts of a turtle tank setup. A lot of the decorations are not like too needed. Of course, you need something to stimulate them and something that will give them, things to do, like, go underneath this cave or climb on the plants here or just dig in the sand. You need, your turtle can get bored. Turtles do get bored. So you want to supply them with something that gives them, some kind of activity other than swimming around. But you need a basking area because they need to completely dry off and bathe in the heat and the sun. It's how they digest their food. It's how they get a lot of their vitamins and minerals. And of course, you need a really good filter. A rule of thumb is if you have a 55-gallon tank, you would want a minimum of like a 105-gallon filter. You want double the filter capacity. This here is a 100-gallon filter, canister filter, 55-gallon tank, filled with about, 45 gallons of water. So we're good. Clean sand, clean water. We are missing one thing though, and that is some ReptiSafe. I'm going to go ahead and add some. You can measure it out, but I've been doing this long enough, I just have a good feel for it. This stuff will help take away any unneeded or unwanted chemicals or minerals in the water. Help it to be perfectly safe for your turtle. Now, tank is done. Now it's time for the really fun part. We're going to put the turtles in. So here's a nice, better view, up close view of the tank. Basking dock. Forgive me of the glare here. You can see Cicada tortoise tank in the background. But here's the actual tank. Everything's looking good. Filter right there. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put the turtles in. We have two turtles we're putting in here right now. A pink belly side neck and a pink belly snapper. I'm sure you guys are familiar with pink belly side neck turtles. Here's this guy, doing the light here. Very cool species. Pretty common in the pet trade nowadays, so it wouldn't be uncommon if you had one of these. But let's go ahead and put him in. Put him on his dock. See if he jumps in. There you go. He's swimming. They're gonna love this setup. Pink belly side necks actually do much better on sand because their plastron, their belly, right there, is actually somewhat soft, and it can easily get scratched by sharp gravel. Now the next turtle, personally, is one of my absolute favorite species. Not a lot of people have heard of this kind of turtle, but this is a pink belly snapper. Very close related to the pink belly side neck. As you can see, this guy is maybe a little bigger. Got him as a very small hatchling, and he's absolutely blossomed. Very cool turtle. Looks like a pink belly side neck. This is a side neck species, not a snapper. They're called pink belly snappers because one of their defense mechanisms is to snap their neck up, which he's not doing at the moment, but I have seen him do that before. But here he is. Absolutely beautiful turtle. I love pink belly snappers so much. There he goes. This dock will be able to hold both of them just fine. Go in his tank. And there he is with his buddy. And yeah, so it'll take them a few days to warm up to this setup. They've been living in this ginormous 300-gallon stock tank paludarium setup with the Reeves turtles, so they've been used to hanging out in this water, so it'll be a little bit of an adjustment to be able to go in this 55-gallon, but they'll do just fine. So here it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do want to do a disclaimer. As you can see, we have a window here, and we have some brick. I do have measures in place to put this, let's see, get that out of the way, this fleece, like cushiony stuff, behind the tank, as a buffer between the brick, so there won't be any coldness drawn from that. And these windows are brand spanking new. Gosh, arms like there's a cat. Brand spanking new. Absolutely no drafts at all. They're a special kind of window. And yeah, just so there's no drafts coming out from the window. It's sealed all the way around. There's no drafts, and the brick here is not a problem. Another thing is adding a heater to the water, something I'll be doing. So I just need to get to the store again to pick up a heater. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something and I helped you out with your turtle tank setup. This one, I actually came out pretty well. I'm very pleased with this setup here. And I'm sure the turtles will be as well. Some fish will be excellent for this. Some mollies, platies, maybe like Cordorus cats or clown loaches or something of that sort would do great in here. But I'm very happy with this setup. Very happy with how it turned out. And I'm sure the turtles will be happy as well. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. And I will see you guys next time.